Hi guys, my name is Esperanza Rangel and we're here with another very interesting video. And as you guys could tell, I'm not by myself, you know. I have two great musicians right next to me. So you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Tiger Quesada Germán.
Okay, and?
Carmelo Sotelo.
Very good. All right, so what we're going to be doing is pretty much the same thing as we did in the last video. We're going to be rating 5 bass players. Now, these bass players were actually either nominated by someone else, or they were bass players that actually stood out to us that we think are great bass players, and we just want to rate them and see what's up, right? We do have a few things before we begin. We do have a sponsor for this video, so don't forget, Juicy's Music Shop is sponsoring this video today. And we do have our in-ear monitors right here. So if you do want to have one of the best music experiences out there, make sure that you do get your in-ears, and you could get a 10% off if you use my promo code, which is HOPE10, and also he has a discount.
You can use my promo code, which is Tiger10.
And you'll get 10% off, like I said. So who doesn't like a discount, right? Yeah. You could also buy them for yourself or buy them for maybe some musician that you may know of, right? Do you have any in-ears?
I don't, but I was really looking into those. Estaba mirando pues, the different options that they have, the glow-in-the-dark one and stuff like that, the Bluetooth option and stuff like that. I'm really interested in getting some of those just to get a better sound quality in my ear.
So before we begin, we do, like I said, have 5 bass players that we will be rating, and I have a few disclaimers before we start this, just because we did run into a few a little incident the last time. So this is our first disclaimer is, do not take these ratings personally. We literally picked these bass players because we really think these bass players are great. Something like that.
It sounded like it.
Yeah, we're not actually sure. We're not actually sure yet if it was like that, but I'm pretty sure just knowing from where it came from. But I mean, honestly, we're gonna be rating each other at some point too, and I'm scared for my life. I'm not gonna lie. So I understand, but don't take things personally. We're just here to talk about bass players and to actually show other people out there that there are more bass players than what you kind of know about or what's mainstream out there. So that's one thing. Also, we do not by any means think that we're better than any of these players. To the contrary, we learn from them repeatedly.
We like listening to their bass players.
And we watch their videos. You are a big fan of a few of these bass players as well.
De esa lista de la que vi de los muchachos de los que vamos a platicar, I'm a huge fan of every single one of them. You know, I like to listen to them. Some of them more than others. Like driving to gigs and I'm like, quiero ambientarme, listen to something that's going to put me in a good mood, something that a style I might want to play like today. We play with different grupos sometimes. We fill in for other bass players, and I'm like, voy a poner esta rola de este grupo para ambientarme en el ánimo o en el estilo que toca este muchacho, un adorno que te gustó, que te acuerdas, and you're like, I want to hear that again, so para meterlo bien, para que salga.
Not everybody in this world is perfect. Not every musician in this world is perfect. So
Definitely not.
They might be like super good at something, but lacking in something else, and vice versa with different bass players and musicians.
Yeah, and then in a bit we're gonna explain what we're rating them on, and also keep in mind that what these 3 categories are just kind of like the basics of being a bass player, and all these together combined are equal to a good bass player. And then the last one is music is subjective. Our opinions are subject to change. Just like you may like a bass player now, you might not like them later. And also, just like you like something that one bass player does, maybe you like the other one more or less. It really is subjective, and everyone has their own opinion. So we're here to just respect all of that. We're gonna begin with our video. So the 3 categories that we're going to be rating bass players on is, the first one is
Dexterity.
And you want to talk to us about dexterity?
Dexterity, I guess, is like how well you know your instrument.
Yeah, I mean, like the fretboard in this case.
That was
dexterity. And then we have the second one for rating. It would be base or pocket. Yeah.
So how well you're able to hold it down without doing so many things, so many adornos.
Things. And then we have sauce, which is the third one.
Sauce is
it's an important one.
Sauce.
Yeah. I believe that in order to get to have sauce, the number 1 and number 2 have to be locked in.
Yeah.
Very, very well. So you guys are ready? You guys want to begin?
Let's go.
Okay. Our first bass player would be Alan.
Oh, okay.
From
RUEDO.
From RUEDO. Alan is one of my favorite bass players, and let's talk a little bit about him. What do you think about Alan?
Alan's definitely sauce.
Yeah, okay.
That's definitely sauce with Alan. Lo conozco varios años. I think que me tocó la oportunidad que I think I've seen him play sexto before. No sé si tocaba bajo sexto primero.
Yeah.
That's how I met him.
Y yo lo conocí cuando tocaba sexto. And then later I found out that he played bass, and I watch a lot of those RUEDO videos all the time with that red bass.
Definitely is. He's definitely one of the bass players that I listen to on my way to gigs, and I really enjoy his stuff. For me now, like, we're gonna go in a little bit into the rating. Dexterity for me, Alan, I would say, like, going off from like a few videos that I've watched and listened to throughout time, I would rate him a solid like 7.5. There's a few things that I think he's capable of doing, but I could hear him sometimes stopping midway, but that's kind of what I would do for Dexterity. What are you thinking for Dexterity?
Dexterity, yeah, I think I'll give him like a 7.5 as well, because I've heard him like adornar from like grave to like down the fretboard. It's crazy, like it's tight. It's clean.
And it's, Dexterity, remember, is knowing your fretboard, and if
that's...
you're able to move across the fretboard like that, it's a good sign. What do you think about Dexterity?
Definitely, I'm gonna give him something a little higher. I want to go with like an 8.5, maybe like pegándole al 9.
Okay.
En mi opinión, porque he knows his fretboard y te mete unos adornos.
Yeah, they're pretty distinct.
He knows what he's doing, you know, like
definitely.
Meten unos adornos bien distinguidos. You gotta know your fretboard if you're gonna be doing stuff like that all night.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He goes all night.
Because you'll definitely like, if you don't know your fretboard and you're trying to do those kind of things, you're gonna land somewhere where you shouldn't be landing. That's not good.
And he definitely does it effortlessly.
And then we're going down to base now. So base and pocket, coming from a year of like having that need to have base, I would rate him a good 8 on base. Also because same thing, like if you're doing so much on the bass and you land a certain way and you still provide that base, that's really admirable to a certain extent, because you're moving so much, but yet you're able to provide it. I think for me it would be a solid 8. What do you think?
For me, his base, I think, is like a 9.
Yeah.
Like, he reminds me so much of freaking Sergio Vega's bass player. Super like punchy and like fills in everything, so I'll give him a 9.
Okay, how about you?
Ya, yo le doy un high 8, un 9, la manera que toca él, ya dije que está bien distinguida.
And then sauce. Honestly, for me as a bass player, he's one of my highest on the list for sauce. Although I don't hear much cumbias from him, but what I have heard him play, I'm like, oh, okay, I really, really enjoy it, and I really get a good high from listening to him. For me on sauce, I would rate him, I want to say an 8.5 for me.
I am actually going to go the other way.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go with a 7. Why? Because I've heard a lot of videos where Willie will kind of break or done some things, and I know everybody has their own style, but Alan will stay on his base. And it will be kind of cool to feel him follow Willie more. Like, I mean, it's nothing wrong with it, because like we said about Rudy doesn't have to do that much to like sound so like how he sounds.
So deep, yeah.
Yeah. The same thing with Alan. But it's just Willie también is like obviously not in the same category as Genaro, but where they're really base drummers. They do an adorno or something, and it would sound nice to like break with him,
Right.
So
what do you think about his sauce?
He's saucy. He's saucing. He's saucing. Yo le voy a dar un 9 with the sauce.
Yeah.
And I actually really like the way he follows Willie. Willie mete muchos. He does a lot of like redobles and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've heard the videos que me gustan ver a mí. Maybe I haven't seen them all. Pero los que me gusta ver a mí de ellos, like, they're going at it together, Y los tiempos que mete Willie se los pega bien machín con el bass.
Yeah. Saludos a Willie,
Styles,
he's a really amazing drummer too.
Styles es lo que hace la buena música, So when you're listening to a músico acoplado con su un bajista acoplado con su drummer, that sounds good. So
right on the
Styles.
All right, so that's our first bass player. Now we're going to go right into the second bass player, Jose from La Frecuencia.
Crazy, because I also met him as a bajo sexto player.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
Chepe.
Yes.
Joseph,
Yeah, long time ago, right?
Yeah.
I do remember him from a while back. And then when I started playing again, one of the examples that you sent me to practice for my base was him.
Yeah.
You said if you want to go back on your base and really, really have it locked in, you have to listen to him.
Yeah.
And I agree 100% with him. But we're obviously going to rate the base later. But as far as dexterity, for me, we're just going to jump right into it. Dexterity for me, I want to say I would rate him a 7.5 as well. He knows his fretboard, that is for sure, but I think I would like to hear him do other kinds of things on the bass. But I don't know. That's what I would do for him.
Yeah.
How about you? Yeah.
Dexterity? Well, I've heard him like playing Intocable songs, so we know that's a difficult shoe to fill in, you know? So, and he does it very well. So I'm thinking by dexterity, I'll give him like a 7.5 as well.
I know he's really skilled. You know, I know that he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's playing. I've heard him play Tololoche too.
Yeah,
I know we're talking about
too.
bass here.
Yeah.
His dexterity, his actual skill with his fingers, he might not always like whip out like
Show it, right?
you know,
Yeah.
pero yo le voy a dar como un 9 también ahí
Okay.
porque
Okay.
I know that he knows his stuff. I've
Yeah.
heard him do some stuff that I know that his dexterity is
It's
up
there.
there. Yeah,
Okay.
it's there.
Fair enough. We're moving on to base or pocket. I don't really have to say much for me. Base
Yeah.
is straight solid 9, almost 9.5.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
and
high.
you know that I don't really rate too high, but really when I started playing again, I guided myself from his stuff so much because
Yeah.
his base is just impeccable for me.
Yeah, Vase, I'll give him a 9 as well, because I mean that's one of the reasons why I shoot him over to you so you could listen to him. Also, like we said, it has to do a lot with the drummer he plays with. You know, I mean, Lonchera, we know how good he is
Yeah,
and
definitely.
how well se acoplan. You know, so I'll give him a 9 for sure.
Yeah, for sure. How about you?
Yeah, I'm definitely going with a 9 with that one.
Yeah.
He has his base. He
Wow.
holds it down.
That's a big one. We have not,
Yeah.
have given that there.
Like
and the three of us.
Coincidentally,
Yeah.
like whoever
Yeah.
considered or something.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Definitely super
No,
base
he
right
got
there.
He got his base down.
Yep, for sure. And then number 3, we got sauce.
Sauce.
What are you thinking for sauce?
Sauce, damn.
I know.
It's so hard because like como se dice, like they're so like good at something, but like then maybe les falta a little bit of this, pero because they're so good at this,
Yeah, you're like, well, it doesn't
like
make
no le hace falta, like
Yeah.
it's hard, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sauce, I'll give him like a 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always see like I'm not at that verge where it's like, oh, he's gonna do like crazy,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he stays in his
In
pocket,
base,
you know.
Yeah, which is not a bad thing,
not
of
a
course.
bad thing,
Especially
of
we got to
course.
keep in mind who he's playing with, and
Yeah.
obviously he's following a certain algorithm and stuff. But for sauce, I would probably do a 7.5 to be very honest on the sauce category.
Well, I'm gonna base my sauce off. Like I said, styles make music.
Yeah.
And for his style that he likes to show, he's saucy with the base. You know, like
Yeah, that's what I mean.
he,
yeah.
he got his base, but he's saucy with it. You know,
Yeah.
so yo le voy a dar un 9 también on
Okay.
sauce.
Obviously, we're not rating bands, but that band
Oh
in
my
general
God,
is
they're
like,
dope. They're
oh, and they're so young, and they give such a. I feel like they give such a mature sound out there that
Yeah.
people need to listen to them. I'm gonna link their videos down below.
Sergio's crazy at the
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah, amazing. The third one would be Chavello from Vanguardia.
Vanguardia. Cool,
Okay.
cool,
I listened to him because I did a reaction video when people were sending me videos from Chicago.
Yeah.
And the stuff that he does is very different. It's a very, very catchy. So you definitely have to check them out. Check him out mainly. Dexterity for me, I do believe he knows his fretboard pretty well, but I'm not gonna lie. The skill with his fingers at times, and this ties down into the base, and we'll talk a little bit about it right now.
I see where you're going.
Yeah, I mean, I would give him a 7.5 on dexterity, and we'll talk about why when I link into the base part. But what do you think?
Oh, I'll do 7.5, but like closer to an 8. because there's a lot of things he does that not like I want to say like not normal norteño bass players do. Like he actually like harmonizes with the accordion, different type of acordes. You know, he comes down the fretboard, does all these like chords. Not the usual as a regular norteño. So I'll leaning more towards an 8, you know, for dexterity.
Okay. How
Just
about
because
you?
of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're fine.
How about you?
Dexterity for Chavello, en mi opinión, well, I haven't watched a lot of Vanguardia stuff. I don't know why. I've heard some of their stuff.
There's just so many
Pero,
bands.
yeah, no,
So many
pues,
bands.
escucharlos a todos, no, nunca acabas.
Yeah, so much.
But he's very skilled. The grupo that he plays in, that Vanguardia, they're all hella skilled.
Yeah.
Y pues para estar acoplados con un grupo de esos, you gotta know your stuff, you know?
Yeah.
El baterista, el acordeonista, like todos. Well, Marito plays in Vanguardia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So many arrangements that they
sí,
do and stuff
no,
like that.
graban un chingo de rolas, un chingo de covers. What's that Primavera song que graba
Oh,
Marito
yeah.
en todo, en todos los grupos?
Con solo verte una vez.
The song Marito
Super
graba con
amazing.
todos sus grupos. Pues he gets down on the bass, you know. I haven't heard much of it, pero I know he's really skilled. I'm gonna shoot him an 8.5 at least,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. That makes
Porque
sense, yeah.
Sé que to play with skilled musicians, you know, you
gotta
gotta
have
have the
to,
skill.
Yeah, it's
And have the confidence for it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, so then we're gonna go into base. So this is where I'm kind of, you know, tying the whole dexterity with. I find him a little bit jumpy with the base. There's not many instances where I'm like, oh, I could feel that bass like that.
The punch.
Honestly, not for me. But it's also because of like so many things that are going on. It's so hard to be,
It's
I feel
so
like,
hard
in a
to have,
band
yeah.
where there's so much going on and then you're trying to hold a base, but that's where, you know, you tie into the dexterity, which is the confidence of what you're doing on your fretboard. I would honestly just rate him a 7 for the base, which is something that is totally fixable when it comes to base.
Yeah.
It's really just going back to beginnings, you know, your roots.
Well, same thing. I think that he's so like well skilled that sometimes he loses himself in that and then forgets like, oh, I gotta hold it down, you know. Also, I've seen him use a Music Man. Just throw it out. Just throw it out
We
there.
did talk about
I don't like the Music Man.
I don't think we either, right?
I don't like the Music Man.
You
Throw
know,
it
that
out there.
Music Man has been passed around so much, I think, right?
Yeah.
Is it the same one I'm thinking
unless
about?
the green one, the little teal,
Yeah, when it has like a
mint
bunch
one.
of stickers.
Unless they're just like letting each other borrow it, but I don't know.
I don't know what's going on, but Music Man,
I don't know. It's just something that I tried them, you know. I'm
he
not
doesn't
so.
give me what I'm looking for
No
in a
sé si es mi
bass.
suerte, cada vez que he calado un Music Man, las cuerdas están bien levantadas.
There you go.
You know,
We don't gotta
yeah.
even
The
say much
action
more.
is high, and then se me hace bien pesado.
Yes,
Y
definitely.
mi,
I would rather
mi
play
opinión nun-
I'd rather
no
play a
me-
Squire.
Definitely. Oh, for sure. I'm just jumping on a limb here. I'd rather play an Ivanist. Wow. Okay, so we were on base. Did you already rate him on base?
No.
No. Let's go.
You know
Base.
what? I don't know if this is gonna be a little different here.
Controversial?
Controversial, because
Okay.
no. Well, the thing is that I don't feel like I've listened to him enough to
Fair.
be able to rate him in that
Fair.
category.
Okay. Do you want
You
to
know,
pass on this one?
I'm honestly not gonna rate him in this
Okay.
category.
Okay.
Okay.
Porque
Fair enough.
la verdad no. I mean, you guys did. Sí me habían dado la lista like a couple days
Yeah.
ago, pero not that I didn't do my homework o lo que sea.
No, it's fine. I mean,
Este-
we've been listening to him for a long time,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
worry
yeah.
about it. We got it.
Sí me ha tocado escuchar muchas cosas, pero en este momento I don't really have like a.
The solid like rate for him.
Yeah, I don't really have
That's
like
okay.
his base somehow registered in
You don't
my
want to
mind.
say like, oh,
No,
7, and then a year later
No,
on,
sí,
you're
no.
like, oh, never mind, he's actually better than that.
Yeah, no, 'cause, you know, I
Makes sense.
he escuchado, and I think all the bass players on the list are really great bass players,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't have like a solid idea of what
Okay.
his base is.
That's why it's so hard
you know?
to rate them as well, because they're so good, you know?
Yeah. And then we have Sauce. I'm just going to go right into Sauce. I think he's very saucy. And I really, really, really think that he deserves a solid 8 for me on Sauce.
Okay. Damn, I'm going to stay with you with the 8.
All
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Super saucy.
Definitely.
Super saucy. Pero regresamos a lo de la base, you know?
Yeah.
So saucy that then you start spilling.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Overflow.
Overflow.
Too much sauce. Too much sauce. I'm gonna go with an 8. I'm gonna go with an 8 on that. From what I have heard of him,
Okay.
de las que sí he escuchado de él, sí toca chingón, toca super chingón. But I didn't do my homework, so I don't really have it down like exactly como es lo que toca, pero he plays in a great grupo. He I've heard some of his
There's
stuff.
a reason why he's there.
Sí,
Yeah.
sí.
Yeah, that's
Claro
true.
que sí. I mean, you know, like he gets down.
We're gonna go on to our next bass player. We're really close to the end of this.
Oh, dang.
We're gonna see. All right, the next one we have Rigo from Legado 7. All right, Rigo, as you guys know, every time I say Rigo, I think like Chivas Regal. I don't know why. Like Rigo.
Or like the homies para Resistencia, they say que le mandan saludos en el song de Exalte and the Buick Rigo.
Okay, well, muchos saludos, Rigo. For Dexterity, for me, I think he's such an experienced bass player. That is another bass player that you actually told me to listen to for me to capture my base again and to get it back. So definitely, I really admire him. I'm not gonna lie, in Dexterity, I would give him a solid 8.
Okay.
Honestly, I would.
Okay. Damn. Okay, so my rate, I think I'm gonna just go straight with all 3. I know I'm gonna break the rule, whatever.
The mold.
But it's cause when I used to listen to Rigo, I was like, oh damn, like I guess in that time, he was one of the few where he had the base down.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, one of the only ones.
He was one of the few that had the base down, so it was like you would come back to him back to the root, you know? Where I'm like stuck on like his sauce and Dexterity.
I know where you're going, yeah.
Is the whole, and I'm gonna say it, the whole him and Aron thing. Where Aron records, you know, obviously it still has to take a certain amount of skill to be able to play like Aron.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we know that he's so dope, he's so crazy, whatever. But then like, do we say Legado is Aron's sound? And Rigo is behind Aron? Or is it really Rigo playing and that is his sound, but it's so close to Aron that we don't know?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah?
I actually have thought about doing a video talking about this more in depth because
I've had this conversation in my head.
and so you are definitely invited for this because I know the dynamic that you have with Aron, right?
Sí,
so
lo conozco muy bien.
this is something I want to leave. If you're okay with this, I want to leave this for a different video because there's so much to talk about.
We already got started.
I know, right?
Do you want to do your rates?
Okay, I'll do. So Dexterity, I'm gonna go 7.5.
Okay.
7.5. I don't know, 7.5. I'm so stuck with shoes. So Base, I'm gonna give him a 9.
Okay.
Dope. Like he I mean, we've all played their songs. It's so hard to keep that base and freaking switching all those tonos. Sauce, I have to give him a 7.58.
Okay.
Because like I said, I don't know if it's his sauce or if it's somebody else's sauce.
What sauce are we doing? Wow. Okay.
It's hard. It's hard.
I did.
And I don't want to sound like, you know, I'm discrediting him. Because like I said, it takes a lot to even be like at the level of like we say Aron.
Yeah, definitely. So. For me, base, definitely I would do 8.5 for me on base. I really, really think he has it like that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just do the sauce one too right off the bat since you started this trend now. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I find him a little bit boring.
Oh.
I'm not going to lie. Like when I
Like too repetitive?
Yes. So I'm thinking like Azuquita,
Out
right?
of them?
Yeah.
Cumbia?
No, just because from the Azuquita video.
Okay.
I just wanted so much
Because that was
sauce from
actually
him.
You know what? And esa sí, I do have an opinion on that. On that cumbia too. You know, like yo sí pensé que pudieran haber hecho un poquito más.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they could. No sé si quisieron darle ese color for a reason. Because, you know, when you're laying down ideas and concepts for a song, like, you essentially like, all right, we want this sauce, this flavor out of it.
It also comes back to like their sound. Whatever Legado sound is, we would just want to keep it clean.
Yeah.
Like intricate but clean. You know, what if they just want to stick there? Obviously, we know that music, if you go overboard, people don't understand it, and then ya no se escucha. You know?
I mean, una invitación para que venga Rigo a hablar de todo esto
course,
con nosotros, please. Yeah, we would definitely want to. We have a lot of questions, muchas preguntas para Rigo. Just going off, like I said, from that song, but in general, let's just give them an in general for Saws, you know, I mean, like a 7.5, you know? But
Carmelo's thinking way too much.
I got lost in the sauce.
What's that meme where it goes like all the freaking
the math equations and shit? No,
what do you think?
It's a conversation that I definitely catch myself in all the time. For Dexterity, I'm gonna give him an 8.5. Okay. I think he's skilled.
Definitely.
He knows what he's doing, and whether it's his recording for Legado or it's not, just to be able to play some of those adornos, like you gotta have the dexterity, like que mete una pentatónica, like you gotta be able to do it. A veces a mí ni me sale esa madre, you know, like I be trying.
I don't even know what that is.
I be trying. A veces me sale, a veces no, you know, like you gotta have the.
Oh yeah, I do that skill that goes do.
That one. So yeah, definitely.
I mix my scales.
An 8.5. I'm gonna give him an 8.5 for dexterity.
All right.
For base, I'm gonna give him a solid 9. Like,
yeah.
Heck yeah. You guys wouldn't be the first people to tell me que cuando alguien te dice to go escucha una base, Rigo, you know, like
exactly.
Una base para un corrido norteño, like un corrido, boom, Rigo. And then for sauce, I'm gonna give him an 8.5 with the sauce.
Okay.
I do feel, this is my opinion, pues, I think most of the Legado recordings are Aron, you know. I know some of the live ones is Rigo.
Yeah.
And even though the style is created by Aron, he learned some of those licks and grooves and stuff. He puts them in at his own style now. Those are things that I kind of first started hearing in norteño, in the regional corrido norteño world, was through Aron.
You know, actually, Maurilio.
Oh,
yeah, us too.
Maurilio.
We listened to Maurilio first. Big anecdote that we used to have like this elephant thing up here. And then Maurilio came to one of the jam-outs we used to have before, and he was playing, and then that thing fell on him, because he was holding it down like that, and it just fell on him. So that's it. Yeah, but for us, it's Maurilio. But we understand your point about Aron, because a lot of people are growing on like with Aron, for example. Yeah. And our first year with that, or experience with that type of bass playing was Maurilio.
Yo quiero decir que para mí, like when I first started hearing this kind of style, was definitely through Aron.
Okay.
So. And I mean, like, he does kind of cover like Aron's recordings. So I feel like, in my opinion, I think that's where he got it. You know, like that's where he picked it up from.
I really think that we should have a whole conversation with Rigo about all this. I think we're excited for it because we really like it.
I know that we're not the only ones that think about this.
Yeah.
Sí, yo he conversado con otros músicos, and then they'll have like the same conversation within themselves, you know.
Yeah, of course. But I think 3 big bass players that we should discuss at some point would be Maurilio, Rigo, and Aron. Just discuss them, talk about their styles, and talk about like, you know, what we pick up from them. But let's go into the last but not least bass player. We have Fredo bass.
Oh, okay. Fredo.
Yes. All right. So if you guys don't know much about him, you are probably not into like the whole corrido tumbado scene and stuff like that. And we gotta respect every single bass player. I don't want to see no comments saying stuff about tumbado stuff, because some of the bass players on there are legit. We have Fredo bass. You know, last time we had Cram, which is on the same kind of category. I'm more familiar with Fredo, and I want to go for Dexterity. I'm gonna go with an 8.5.
Yeah,
he's so young, but wow, right? Amazing for me. I think Dexterity. 8.5.
Yeah, I would do 8 for Dexterity.
Okay.
For what reason? I don't know. I just think he's really good. Like, he knows his fretboard. I think I would like to hear him live. You know?
That's one thing we haven't done.
No,
we have not heard him live. Not yet, but hopefully. Yeah. We did have... we were going to film a video, but obviously, the whole travel time is kind of far and stuff, but we will arrange that. We will have you here. And then what do you want to do for Dexterity for him? I'm
going to give him an 8.5. Because that tumbado stuff lleva mucho... Yeah, mucho.
For a bass player, it's very heavy on a bass player, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a lot of filling in.
Yeah. Oh, so much.
Sí le voy a dar un 8.5 with that. I have seen him play live, but like on Instagram live.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So sí lo he visto tocar en vivo, and whatever he's done in like his little videos that he records, también lo avienta.
Because that's a big point that I tell.
Saludo a mi mamá que anda dejando los trastes allá atrás. Okay, now we're gonna go back to this.
Back from commercial break. So yeah, one main thing that I always say is that you have to hear them live. Because like I said, like I could sit down for hours to make a 1-minute video and I'm gonna sound like amazing. But then when it comes down to playing live,
all my videos,
where it has to be like you've never played with this drummer, te tienes que acoplar con este drummer, you gotta hold down the base, you gotta learn this song, know this song, blah blah. It's a lot.
I'm sorry, did you rate him?
For base?
Yeah.
Okay, base, I'm gonna give him an 8.5. Why? Because it's really hard to hold it down when you don't have drums.
Oh, yeah, it's really hard.
And to be able to fill in like they do, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking same thing, 8.5 for me as far as base, because I mentioned it before that I used to do a lot of serreño before, and serreño I think is not even as demanding as tumbado. So, 8.5 for me, yeah.
I'm gonna go with an 8 on base, but that's because I haven't really heard much of him.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
Pero I know he's good. He's really good.
Yeah.
The stuff that I have heard, he gets down.
Yep, for sure. Sauce.
I don't know
sorry.
if I'm relating base so much to drums though.
No, but I mean it's bass. So
yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
No sé si a huevo lo quiero amarrar. My mind's like base is like cómo está amarrado.
Yeah.
Sí,
it's kind of hard to rate them on base because they don't have a drum. But
like there's bass players that they have a good drummer and that they still can't give that base. You know?
Excuse me?
Coming in hot.
I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story. Like not too long ago, I'm gonna say this. It's pretty intense. But someone told me they said the only reason that you sound good is because you have a good drummer. And I was like, I don't agree with that. I never sound good. No,
really?
They told me this, and I was like, wow, I've been rated in real life. But this was before we,
which is good.
Yeah, no, I take it as
we
like
should all take it as in like, okay, if they really think maybe me falta, then I could do better. At the end of the day, all of us are nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Like, what do we know really about music?
Well, I mean, music, the learning never stops.
Never stops. Never
like,
stops.
I like to listen to these guys because I learn from them.
Of course,
you know?
yeah.
So, you gotta be open to constructive criticism.
Yeah.
You know? So
gusto se rompe géneros, right?
Right. There's people who like how I play. There's people who don't like how I play. Right? And same thing for you guys. Yeah. And so, yeah, definitely.
We don't like how you play.
I don't like how I play myself.
Wow.
Okay, so sauce.
Okay, so I don't want to rate him. I don't want to tie him to Danny Felix. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yes.
He es el que toca bass con él, right?
Yeah. Well, no, Danny Felix is the requintero. But from what I know, but I could be wrong.
No, that's why he plays the bass with
Nathanael. So Danny Felix.
Fredo plays bass with Danny Felix.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the reason I don't want to tie it is because if I like I said, I don't know 100%. You could, como se dice, lincharme if you want. But the first recordings from Nathanael, I believe it was Danny on bass.
I think so too.
Not Fredo.
I think so too.
But then again, we come back to where the whole Aaron and Rigo thing could it be the Danny Felix and Fredo thing.
The influence.
But I'm not gonna discredit him. He's freaking dope. Like, cause I've heard him on live videos too, like on Instagram Live, and he's, oh my god, like he reminds me of I guess Cram again.
Yeah.
Where they're like on the fretboard just like crazy,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So I'll give him a 8.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fredo's dope.
I also agree on that. I agree on the 8.5 for Sauce. There's tons of things in one song only where I could just be like, oh, that made me feel a certain way. And, you know, for me, Sauce, it has a lot to do about
that,
feeling.
ooh, that,
yeah, it's
know?
that like, oh, okay, that's Sauce right there. That's a reaction that I get from bass players that have that kind of sauce. So I would stay also in the 8.5 category for sure.
I'm gonna run with an 8.5 too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got the sauce.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He got the sauce.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, you guys, this was good.
Yeah.
This was good.
I liked it.
Yes, definitely.
And we should have more bass players join.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Be on top of the speakers and stuff.
Yeah, we do have a lot of stuff coming up. Thank you so much for collaborating on this video. Thank you again, Juice's Music Shop, for sponsoring these videos, because we have one more video to go. I'm gonna link all their stuff below so that you guys make sure to buy those in-ears. We're gonna send you the link.
I need a promo code or something.
Promo
Can I
code.
stack the promo codes or something?
You cannot.
I'm gonna need that 20. You know. I'm gonna need that 20.
But also, you could buy many in-ears and then get more discounts. But yeah, so thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited about the next videos that we are going to do. Like I said, this is the second part, but we have one last one to go, which is parte tres. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I've had people actually request for us to do like a bajo sexto series, and then someone requested a drums series. We might do a drummers series. We might do a bajo sexto series. We even might do an accordion series, since we have an accordion player right here, and we have experience listening obviously to a lot of accordion players, so we might even do that.
No, that sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for inviting me. Thanks for having me. I was really excited to be part of this. I admire a lot of the bass players. I listen to a lot of local bass players. I prefer listening to local bands than to hear stuff that's in the studio. I love listening to live music, because that's where you really hear like what the feel is, you know,
the true essence of it.
The true essence of the music. So me gusta escuchar muchos grupos locales en vivo, and I've actually asked like other professional musicians que opinan, and some of them are like, oh, I don't even listen to like local bands. Essentially, a lot of us know each other, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Of course.
it's cool to be able to check one another out and have some genuine thought, you know, like no.
Conversation.
A veces vienen unos compas de, hey, fool, you get down, and it's just for para que tú le digas, nah, you get down,
you get down.
you get down, you know, and it's a back and forth thing, you know,
Yeah,
pero
yeah.
no, los bass players que estaban en la lista hoy,
Yeah.
Yeah,
really good bass players.
And then the last 5 ones that we have coming up also are pretty legit. I'm gonna send you guys a list, but
Okay,
they're
cool.
pretty amazing too. And we definitely will be gathering back again to talk about the whole Rigo and Aaron conversation. We haven't forgotten that. We're gonna definitely have that. So thank you so much for watching this video. Go ahead and share, like, subscribe, do all your thing. And if you want to, like I said, nominate a bass player, please do let me know, because we might be missing out on bass players out there that we don't even know.
There's so
of.
many
Yeah.
amazing bass players,
Yeah.
musicians that.
Yeah, and to remind you guys, we chose these bass players because they really, really like stand out, you know, out of the crowd. There's tons of bass players, but a lot of us, we sound the same. I have to admit, a lot of us sound the same, and there's just a few that you're like, that's a bass player right there.
Yeah.
So
bass players that we actually admire. You know?
yeah, definitely. So thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next time.